The other substance of the announcement, though, was the decision to allow $306 million in loans and some non-refundable payments to Indigenous small and medium-sized businesses. This is another sector, obviously, that's been hard hit by COVID-19. We saw the government try to get money to particular sectors yesterday. A bit of a continuation of that today. If I'm not mistaken, there are something like 6,000 Indigenous businesses across this country. Tabatha Bull is the president and CEO of the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business, and she joins me from Toronto. Good to see you, Tabatha.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so this is, how needed was this going to be? Was there a real desire for additional money for specifically Indigenous businesses?
Absolutely. There are actually over 50,000 Indigenous businesses across Canada, and about 99% of those are small, medium enterprises. Around March 20th, we sent a letter actually to the Prime Minister and the COVID cabinet, along with a number of our friends, including the National Aboriginal Capital Corporations, which the Prime Minister mentioned today, highlighting that a number of small and medium enterprises, very low number of those actually access financing through traditional financial institutions. So we wanted to ensure that there was a way that small and medium enterprises could access some of the same liquidity and capital that was going out through the BPAC and through the Community Emergency Business Account. This is a much needed and welcome announcement.
So this is because a lot of Indigenous companies use Indigenous institutions, banking institutions primarily. So this will go directly to those instead of a traditional bank, as you say.
That's right. And, you know, a number of Indigenous businesses are also, about 65% of them are financed through their own personal savings or through personal loans. So they're not an existing client of a financial institution. And the CEBA it's very clear, is for existing clients in those institutions. So we really needed another route for those businesses to access some capital and liquidity.
The other thing that struck me from what the Prime Minister said was, and this is something that we're seeing throughout various sectors, frankly, through the pandemic, is that many of these businesses are owned and employ women, Indigenous women. Can you give us a picture of that and how important it is? Because I know it's hit other sectors hard too. A lot of women in the service industry, for instance. Give us a picture of that in terms of Indigenous businesses.
So we definitely see women double the amount of women are innovating and coming into the Indigenous entrepreneur. A lot of that is, you know, it helps for them to be able to have a flexible schedule, not unlike women across the country. But a lot of the sectors that were hit initially are more sectors where you would have a personal interaction. So spa and tourism, and those are sectors where we see a lot of more women-owned businesses. So we have seen a higher impact to Indigenous women, for sure.
Are there other things that are needed? That was the other thing that struck me. The Prime Minister said this is just the first step. As we know, these policy decisions that are getting made very, very quickly and pushed out the door very quickly are sometimes not the final version. Is there anything else that you are looking for?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've been working very closely with the government on a number of the programs that are have already been established. You know, I don't think it's intentional, but there's a number of factors in those programs that excludes Indigenous businesses. So the wage subsidy, as an example, Aboriginal Economic Development Corporations, who are a limited partnership with their community, but employ, you know, up to 800 Indigenous people in a number of those organizations. They're currently excluded from the wage subsidy just by the way that their limited partnership is set up. So we're working very closely with the government to try to understand that. Some of those businesses have laid off over half of their employees, and those are businesses who put money right back into programming in the community. So we need to ensure that they're able to access that wage subsidy. I think additionally is procurement. We have a number of Indigenous business members that are able to supply PPE and able to pivot to ensure that we can all fight COVID-19 together. And I'd really like to see some type of incentives so that we can ensure that those Indigenous businesses have an opportunity to be part of this fight against COVID-19, particularly when they can support loss of life in Indigenous communities who are at a much higher risk for this pandemic.
You're talking about companies that are switching over their supply lines or their supply chains to create different things that are needed, like masks and that kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely. We have seen a couple of our Indigenous business members who have pivoted to ethanol and producing hand sanitizer, and a number of businesses too who have been able to access masks. And you know, another great business, Abraflex, that has been able to pivot to making gowns. So we want to make sure that those businesses have an opportunity to be part of both the federal supply chain, but also to support directly to communities.
Okay, Tabatha, good of you to make the time for us on this Saturday. I do appreciate it very much.
Thanks very much.
Okay, stay well.